Give me your rating and then go into some non-spoilers.
Ratings are so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Ratings are so complicated and confusing. Mm-hmm. I've become so comfortable with Letterboxd scoring that it just calms me down. So I gave this movie on Letterboxd a 4.5.
Okay.
Out of 5. I didn't write a review for it. I was just 4.5. So I'll say, you know what? With a strong confidence number, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I loved Avatar: Fire and Ash. I think it might be the best out of the 3. As someone who doesn't love the first one, the first one is good and I like it. And I respect it. The second one I think is insane and it's awesome and it's so much more emotional and so much more interesting in so many ways. The third one takes that emotion and ramps it up by a good couple notches where I'm like, okay, we have established characters that I also semi know the names of that I actually care about. And this movie pushes them hard. I need to talk about Jake Sully. I love him to death. He's awesome. He's the GOAT. I love him. Spider grew on me. Loak, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Loak, love him. My favorite character. All right. I think this movie is so strong. It's so emotional. It's so beautiful. And I was kind of blown away by it. The 3 hours flew by. The only point where I was like, okay, this movie's starting to hit was around the 2 hour mark because I kept getting texts on my phone by my little brother trying to sign into his PlayStation account.
Your phone, man.
No, I wasn't ringing. It was just like, and I was like, okay. And it's because so I kept checking the text and it would be like the time. And I'm like, why? So once I put my phone away fully, I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm in. And it flew by. It was awesome. It was fantastic. I had such a good time. Awesome movie. I loved everything it was doing. I don't want to go full into detail because I want to give you the stage and we'll do spoilers and whatever. So Phil, take it away. All right.
This come to a shock to you.
6 out of 10.
I actually had a lower rating than you. I gave this movie an 8 out of 10.
Whoa!
I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. I still really liked it, but it was an 8 out of 10 to me. Reason was, I think my hopes for the first viewing was too high. But this movie still did deliver on what I needed it to do. A lot of the complaints I've heard, because if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Avatar fan, big Avatar fan. I love the first one, love the second one, but a lot of people through these first 2 movies said, I don't care about the characters. I need James Cameron to go way more into like the personal aspect of it. I need to get to know them more. And I think this is exactly what it did. That's why I really still loved it. But there are a lot of scenes that for the first time I actually feel like weren't necessary to put in this one. And the only reason why I feel that is because I really did feel like a couple of times, like I was watching it and I was like, I feel like I'm on repeat. I feel like I'm in a loop because it just didn't feel like it needed to be there. But later, towards the end, and even some things that happened in the movie still got me on a sugar high. But I still am very grateful for this movie. Still very grateful. But it wasn't what I expected the first viewing. But I do like this more than the first one. But I can't put it over Avatar: The Way of Water. Because that was my hope. I wanted to put it over Avatar: The Way of Water. But I can't. I still consider Avatar: The Way of Water the best Avatar film. But yeah, just non-spoilers right there.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Okay. We can go in.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off by saying I disagree with you.
Okay.
I actually think this movie has less of that, like, oh, I don't think this scene is necessary. I feel like this movie's just kind of going. Like, it's flying. There's less of the kids kind of learning to swim and hanging out with whales and whatever, and a lot more prepping for war and people fighting and people freaking getting murdered and crazy emotional scenes. Let's go straight into spoilers just really fast.
Yeah.
The scene that caught me so off guard, two specifically, two very strong scenes for me. Scene with Loak about to kill himself.
Oh, man.
Which was rough. And
that
I was like,
crazy.
I was like, what is this movie doing?
I was like, no.
Too real. What are you doing?
The Tam was already gone. I can't have Loak gone.
Yeah.
I love Loak.
Incredibly strong scene. Super well performed. Almost made me cry.
Yeah.
I was getting chills. I was like, this is crazy. The other scene that drove me insane was the Jake Sully, Neytiri, and Spider scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was very good.
Oh, like that. Like stuff like that. I feel like at every moment something was happening in this movie where if I walked out of the theater, I was going to come back being like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what did I miss? That's why. I feel like the second one, I was like, oh, I could probably leave at this point and come back and like go pee or whatever. This movie, I was seated the entire 3 hours. I didn't get up at all.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, holy crap. I want to talk about that spider scene just really quick. Super emotional, super compelling, super awesome. Bro, why the heck? Why the heck did they make that sound with a knife?
Oh, yeah.
That was dumb. That pissed me off.
I low-key thought it happened when
Because
it went
what did
through.
he stab? He didn't stab anything, so why did it make a noise?
That's why I'm thinking maybe that's just the James Cameron trying to go like, oh, it did happen. Wait, it didn't. Gotcha.
That was dumb. I was like, that don't make no sense. Like, what are we doing?
But it made you
It worked
go,
though.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
It worked though.
So
I
it
was
worked. Because think about it. You're sitting there, you hear the sound, and you're like, but then right when the camera comes back and you see it didn't go through, you're like, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I know it may have been stupid, but if it made you go, I think that's good.
It was a good scene. It was a good scene. No hating. I was like, I'm not trying to hate. I genuinely was just mad. I was like,
Yeah.
come on, you can't do that to me. Yeah, dude, I thought this movie was so good. There was so much happened in this movie that it's kind of hard to like
lot.
wrap up in like one thing.
Yeah.
I think I will say the only disappointing part of this movie for me that I think the second one does better is its final act. I think the final like fight is better in the second one than the third one.
Yeah.
The third one, it felt a little too samey.
Yeah.
And it felt a little bit more complicated. Where it wasn't focused on the choreography. A lot of it was like, because they were in that big thing that was sucking them up, it was kind of like all over the place. And I
Yeah.
wasn't following completely. It felt too choppy. And it's a pet peeve of mine. I hate when fight scenes are super cutty. It like drives me insane. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I want to see things happen. I don't want to just cut. And then it's like, someone gets hit. It looks so fake to me. It drives me insane.
I feel you. I think the one thing that still had me liking the end fight was the fact that, you know how it starts, everything, the way they did everything was almost the same plan and formula of the second one.
Yeah.
But then, and
It
we're gonna get into
escalates.
her. We're gonna get into her.
Oh, yeah.
Varang soon. Varang and the Mangwan clan come in. And instantly it goes from, yo, our plan that we keep doing before, or that we did before, it's working. And then they come in did you notice that the light changed? Like it went from like all blue and everything to the sun reflecting on them, and it gets a little like orangey red.
No, I did not. I know they kept doing the sun shop, but I didn't notice that.
Because they showed Natiri and how she was smiling, and she's like, yeah, we got this. And then the Magwan clan shows up, and it goes from to... And then instantly you're knowing, oh, this isn't going to be the same type of fight.
That was really cool.
That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that was sick.
That's why I liked it, because it was something they weren't used to.
And it added a new layer to the fight, which I
Exactly.
completely agree with. It wasn't now them just fighting humans. It was like them also fighting these evil.
Yes. Evil Navi.
Yeah.
Avatars. I'm
Yeah.
just going to say avatars. But I thought that was sick, bro. Especially when you're seeing all the Ikron riders going into each other like it's a dog fight. I was like, in IMAX, I was sitting there
awesome.
like, oh my gosh. Oh. And then also, just real quick to point this out, Natiri is one of the best Ikron riders in Avatar. That scene, we'll talk about it soon, but I'm just going to say that she's the best Ikron rider in Avatar. The best. I don't care. Anybody, if they get to the fourth movie, and I know the rumor was they were going to talk about the Ikron rider, whoever it was, no matter what, that person ain't got nothing on Natiri. Natiri is crazy.
I want to talk about Natiri for a second, because I think she was, dude, Zoe Saldana killed.
Oh, yeah.
She killed it this movie. I feel like this was different. I think I didn't even think about them actually really dealing with the fact that their son died in this movie. I don't know why I walked in like, expecting them to talk about, dude, obviously they were going to get into it. And when I realized that's what they were doing, I was like, yeah, dude, okay, good. Like this movie's really following up with the stakes, which makes sense. I should have expected that. But I think the way that Zoe Saldana like delivered all of her scenes, her mourning in the beginning, so hard to watch. It was so heartbreaking, so sad. Her then like being very hateful towards Spider. You're kind of just like
Spider and humans.
Yeah, like
or pink skin.
Yeah, pink skin.
Pink
yeah.
skin.
Justified, but also, dude, like holy crap, like whoa.
Yeah.
And then to get to the end with her sort of switching up and finally realizing like, hey, like, yeah, like, you know what, there are good ones, you know? And with her freaking like coming in, saving Jake Sully and all that stuff with her on the fire, the like fire makeup, whatever. So cool. And I thought she was a standout for me. I loved her so much in this movie. I thought she was so compelling the entire time. I love Jake Sully, and I think Jake Sully will always be my favorite. No, Aloak is my favorite character. But Jake Sully is he's just so cool. He's so cool. But I think really Natiri took it for me, this movie.
For me, I think without a doubt, this third movie made me realize Natiri is my favorite character in Avatar. Like, she is, if there's no Natiri, I don't even know if there is Avatar. Like, Loak and Kiri are getting to that point with me where I can see, like, those are probably my three. Maybe even Took, but... Took. I like saying Took. But Natiri is, like, the foundation to me for this movie.
For sure.
I want to go... Let's take it back a little bit. The opening... I guess 40 minutes because it was a whole sequence.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me start with this. What did you think of Loak being the narrator for this movie?
Loved it. I think they're setting him up to be a lead, like a main character. I think you're sort of starting to get the proper development of him becoming like his dad, or like the proper next leader to like stop the humans. And I think this movie was like, hey, like, yeah, that's what we want to focus on. The rumor is for 4, they're going to do an 8-year time jump. And I think this movie makes it a lot more evident that is 100% going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think you want to do that so you can set up the next generation of avatars to like lead on the revolution, you know, and stop humans from coming to their planet, you know? And dude, I love him so much, so I was cool with that. Okay. And he's just a really strong character. He's a character I probably resonate with the most as a middle child myself. Represent, baby. I just think he is such an interesting character, and I can't wait to see him get more into him.
I was a bit conflicted.
Ooh.
It wasn't, you know,
you want to hear that sexy Jake Sully voice. That's what you want.
No. Actually, I was very more hyped to get different characters narrating. So when they said that Loak was going to be narrated, I was very hyped. I was very like, yes, that's what I wanted. The reason why I was not feeling it the most is because nothing about his voice. He was perfect. Everything he was saying at certain points was right. The problem I have is, and this is what goes into me not liking the movie as much as I thought I did, I felt like he still was a side character. And I felt like if because the first time I got that notification saying like he's going to be the narrator, with Jake Sully for both movies, he was the main character. With Loak, I thought he was going to be, but it turns out it was still more of a story about Jake Sully and Natiri. Yeah. And I don't want to be fully against that. The second time I watched it, I still kind of understood it, but it still bugged me because another reason why it bugged me is because after those 40 minutes, after that sequence of them getting into it with the Magwan clan and Varang and everything, he goes back to the Metakaina tribe and he's just there while they're handling stuff outside, and it bugged the heck out of me.
Yeah, he gets sidelined.
That's another thing too. Like all of his scenes, like when he's there, to me kind of felt like I didn't need it. Like when he's doing the Payakan, like trying to help his brother out and everything, I understand if that's gonna like lead to something more later, but it during the whole movie, it felt like it wasn't the main thing.
I feel like the payoff was there though at the end.
Yeah, at the end it was there, but I feel like if we want to go into that more, I feel like he should have had a different role. Like my thing was, and that's why I love the start of the movie. Remember when him and his dad are having the conversation about his comms? Yeah. And like how he wants to ride with him, but he's like, you don't have your comms, you don't have responsibility. Like, and obviously he's thinking about his brother Natam. He's like, Natam would have had his comms, and Tam would have done this, and Tam would have done that. But like to me, I feel like that should have been the thing. I think that he should have been Jake's wingman the whole time, or tried to. He should have been there like from the jump.
Like side by side with his dad.
Side by side, and still trying to get his dad to understand like he's there, like he can lead. I was hoping for that. But instead it was more of like, oh, I'm going to help my brother Payakan, which isn't a bad story, by the way. It's just that it wasn't the one I was looking for. It's not bad. The second time I watched it, I understand it, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I just think that if you're going to make him the narrator, I think he should be just a little bit more in there with his family and everything else.
I want to ask your opinion on this because I think this was one of the only negatives I saw about the movie was it didn't make that much sense that Jake Sully was so mad at Loak the whole movie because it seemed like they cleaned that up at the end of the second.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that movie since I watched it like originally.
Yeah.
Is that true? Like, did it not make sense? I felt like it made, like, I was following. I was like, oh, yeah, that would make sense. Like, he's mad at his son, whatever. And I saw a lot of people saying, well, he doesn't hate him. Like, they dealt with that. But I think you can, like, obviously not hate your son, but still resent him for what he did.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what this movie was trying to be. Jake Sully doesn't hate his son. That was never, I feel like that wasn't that was never made clear to me. So I don't think he hates his son, but I think he does kind of almost validly blame him for his other son dying.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I thought that was a really like compelling plotline that they sort of follow. You're right, they do kind of go away from it, like probably halfway through the movie, an hour and 30 minutes into the movie, you know? But I do think it comes back and it wraps up fairly strongly, where he proves to his dad in a separate way, like away from him, that he can do something. He is capable of being a leader, and then that plays into the end.
On the second watch, I think I liked that more.
Yeah.
On the second, well, it didn't bother me as much, but I still do feel like it should
I
have
think
gone.
that's so valid, though.
Yeah, I think it still just should have gone a different way because I really did think he could be like Jake Sully, because the reason why I like Avatar: The Way of Water so much is because they had us learn more about Loak than Natam. We already knew Natam. He was the basic perfect son for Jake Sully. He did it exactly. We knew he was going to be the next in line to even be the Torok Muk too.
And then they kill him, and it was like,
and then they kill him. This is why I like that switch, because it's like, oh, now it's Loak. Loak has to be there. That's why I'm a little bit more like, didn't expect it, but it still kind of works. But going back to your question about did Jake resent his or hate his son?
Yeah, did that like play off weird? Because I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah. So the first time I watched Avatar: Fire and Ash, that's what it seemed like. I was a little annoyed. I was kind of like, why does he? I thought they like forgave each other, because they're talking about that scene in Avatar: The Way of Water where Jake is stuck in the ship that's sinking and the water's coming in, and he's nervous to like start swimming and like breathe, but his son Loak shows him. And that's what I thought that scene was. I thought that scene was Jake finally saying that his son is useful and that he helped him not die, and him saying, no, I see you, at the end of Avatar: The Way of Water, where all the family meet and everything. I thought that was like the scene where it's like, oh, I forgive you for what happened in the Tam. So then seeing him act the way he did at the start of Avatar: Fire and Ash, being as like strict with his son, throwing statements the way he did, it kind of was offsetting. But watching it the third time, it does make sense because of the whole overall theme of the movie, Fire and Ash. Like, somebody explained it pretty well. They said like, I think it was James Cameron. James Cameron said like, the fire is the anger we have inside of us. And we saw anger with everybody. We saw anger with Neytiri. We saw anger with Jake Sully. We saw anger with the Mongol clan, Quaritch. Like, everybody pretty much had something they were angry about. But eventually that turns into, you know, like, you got to let it go. It's the ash that goes away. And I think they did a good job of that later. Is it what I wanted? No, but I think it does play into the theme of the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, was there anything else you thought about with the movie? There's a lot.
There's so much. Okay, I want to talk about really fast the Kiri and Spider kiss, because I watched it and I was like, bro, isn't she like 70? Like, I was like, yo, that's kind of weird. I said it and I walked out of the theater and I told my brother and his girlfriend, I was like, hey guys, you guys know that like lady's like 70 years old, right? Like, that's, he's like, well, how old is he? And we looked up, he's like 18. And I was like, okay, I guess we found out later, like, oh no, he was actually 15 when they made it.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Like, I wonder how they got around that.
Well,
they recently posted that like they just like switched him out. And I was like, okay, thank God. That was like I think that's a really interesting plot thing that they're doing. And I'm really curious to see where it goes.
I need to get into that.
I think it will get sidelined. I think they're more focusing on Kiri kind of having this weird like God connection, which, by the way, why did their God look human?
I thought she looked like an avatar.
I didn't think
she
so.
She looked like an avatar.
It had fairly you've seen it way more times. I was like, that looks like a person.
That looked like an avatar to me, man. That was the
Tyler,
sickest.
You watch it? No.
That was the sickest part of the movie.
It was such a cool
Can we please
scene.
talk about like if do we have time? Okay.
We got time, bro.
This was probably the scene that really made me like super duper love a part of this movie. The scene where Spider is running out of air. Kiri tells Loak, place him on the ground, and she starts to pray. She puts her, I forgot the thing that's called, her hair, her ponytail hair thing in the ground, starts praying, instantly saves Spider from dying. But Spider can breathe the air. Spider can breathe the Pandoran air. That was nuts. I was like, wait, because I tried not to watch trailers and stuff. I didn't want spoilers, so I didn't know he gets the thing on the back of him and he could breathe the air. I didn't know that. So I was going nuts when that happened. I was like, me and everybody like next to me, I was like, humans can breathe in air. Oh my gosh. And I was thinking, oh wait, if he can breathe, and I was thinking if Korg gets him, and instantly I was like, what? But their I don't want to say commentary, but their whole thing on Awa and like faith in Awa and even just the land, I thought was so good, bro. Even at the start, when Neytiri and Jake's like, oh, well, I'm not going to bring a knife to a gunfight, let alone prayer. And then Neytiri yells, my faith is all I have. And then you have that scene come up, and then you have the scenes where they're talking about, oh, you don't have a father. You were born without.
Virgin birth, that's what I'm telling you.
I was like, bro, they're really going into the Messiah complex.
Yeah, they're doing really the Messiah stuff, yeah.
But I love that, bro. I loved it because I think with Kiri's character, that's exactly what I wanted. More answers on who she is and why she can do the things she can do. And now we know why, because she's Awa's child, which was tough to hear. When Neytiri's mother says, you're a child of Awa, I went, oh my gosh, goosebumps went down me, bro. It was tough. But
an awesome scene.
What did you think of that whole sequence?
Honestly, it was sort of just playing exactly as I thought it was going to. I wasn't too surprised by a lot of the stuff it was doing. Again, I saw the spider thing in the trailer. The second one kind of sets up her being some sort of like godlike figure.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff they were doing didn't surprise me. I do think it's cool, and I'm really curious to see where it goes.
I'm very excited.
Because they're laying a lot of really interesting breadcrumbs that I feel like is really like I'm really keen on seeing where it goes, because if she is like this Messiah thing, and you have Loak becoming this next big leader, you have an 8-year time jump. We don't even know what Took's gonna become. You know, like who's Took? What's Took's role gonna be in this? Spider can breathe air now, and that's like its own problem in a weird way, because like they can take him. Cool problem, yeah. I think there's so many directions these movies can go because they're so big, they're so vast. Again, these movies are about building worlds, I feel like. And I think it's killing it. So I feel like it just added a lot to the lore, and I really liked it.
Do you think that this did, in fact, answer a lot of questions that a lot of haters had for this series?
No. I think if you didn't like it after the second one, I don't think a third one's gonna do anything for you. I wholeheartedly mean that. But here's the thing: is I think the haters are so much louder than we actually think. I think a lot of people really like Avatar. Like, I don't think people love Avatar. I wouldn't even say I love Avatar. I love the movies. Like, when I go, I'm in it. I'm not gonna think about Avatar till the fourth one's about to come out. I know me. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't think. If you watch the second one and you're like, yeah, this movie's garbage, it's all CGI, visual, whatever, a third one isn't going to make you think, oh, yeah, like, never mind, they fixed it. It's basically the same thing. But I do think this movie is better. I think it's a more impressive. I think it's a lot more emotional. I think it's, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's better written. Maybe it is. I think it's a lot more stuff's happening. It's kind of going. I think it's a lot more action-packed for sure. But I don't think if you didn't like Avatar 1 and 2, you're not gonna like a third one. So just don't waste your time. Don't even do it.
Yeah, I think it's better written though. I think it is.
Yeah,
like better than the first and second one because it gets way more personal, way more emotional. I just think that it's just some of the editing choices where I was like, some of these scenes need to be cut just because the flow of it's a little oh my bad.
I was like, before we like close, I think the one thing we didn't talk about at all is the Colonel.
I was gonna ask that.
Cool.
Farang and the Colonel. That's what
he's one of my favorites too. I love him so much. I like that he's kind of this like always looming threat. Like, he never dies. He just always comes back again. He's like, all right, Jake Sully, we're gonna fight. And I'm just like, this guy's my favorite. He's so funny. My brother was like, dude, I'm sick and tired of this guy. Like, he's not cool. I'm like, what do you mean?
He's very cool.
He's perfect.
I love him.
He's so funny. I don't know. There's something about him where I think his switch up in this movie is my favorite thing ever. Him constantly being like, yeah, I can't stand them blue people. And then he freaking immediately, freaking one comes on him and he's just like, all right, like, I'm in. Like, come on. I was like,
I get it now.
The switch up was so funny. I was like, all right, guy. Like, I think I know what kind of person you are.
I think it makes him way more dangerous too now.
Dude, he has a freaking whole clan on his side.
Yeah.
You think he's
dangerous?
I think he's done with humans though.
Oh yeah.
I think it's fully all in on that group of people now, which now adds a completely new threat. Here's the thing, this is what I want. I think Avatar 4 is gonna be James Cameron's last Avatar movie he directs. He said he's probably like, he doesn't want to direct these movies for the rest of his life. because he's old. I think 4 will be his last one, and I think you finally get the like pinnacle big fight between Jake Sully and the Colonel, and I think it ends with both of them dying.
Yeah. I think that's what needs to happen.
I want the fight in a volcano, fires everywhere, a super sick knife fight. There's no cutting, just perfect choreography. That's what I want. Because I felt like their fight in this one didn't give me that.
Yeah.
It was too cutty. It was a little too like the terrain was weird.
Yeah.
It didn't flow super great. It was cool visually, but it wasn't my favorite. I was like, I wish I had a little bit more from it. But I think they want to get rid of that. For sure. I think they want to cut that plot.
I think that's where they're going to.
Yeah.
What did you think about Varang?
I love her. She's so cool. She was so cool. Again, like, there's just something about it. You know what's funny is I think it's so perfect that, like, a video game does exist and people are playing it finally because no one played it when it came out.
Because they didn't have third person.
Well, no, not that. It's because people hate the company that made it and they were like, it's just slop.
Let's be for real. It was in first person and that was the dumbest idea you could do. For an Avatar.
That's an entirely different conversation that I disagree with wholeheartedly. But it's okay.
Stupid.
It's okay. Anyways, I think she's awesome, and she's a testament to like they can make strong villains for this world for sure that aren't just humans. Like they can, because here's the thing: the human villains are like the sergeant lady in this movie was driving me insane. Like my brother goes, "Never been a good military actor in the entire movies, bro," and I was like, freaking real, except Jake Sully and the Colonel. But like, I just feel like every time they try and do anything with any other military people, I'm always like, all right, like this is dumb. Like it's never interesting. They're always like not well acted. They're usually super like stern, like yeah, we're gonna take them on and whatever, and like that's it. I'm happy that this movie showed me that they can make really strong, like, Avatar villains.
Yep.
And I'm really curious to see if they do another one, if they kind of just continue the fire people. There's definitely more. I think they will for sure continue the fire people. I wonder for a fourth one, though, if it's an 8-year time jump, if they try and give Lowak his own, like his own big villain, you know? Because he's going to be the future of this series.
Yeah.
So do you want him to have his own? He needs... In the same way Jake Sully has the Colonel, he needs his own Colonel.
Yeah.
But it can't be the Colonel. It needs to be someone else. So I'm curious to see what they do with that.
I think that Varang was enough in the movie to, like, have her be a villain, but I still feel like Quaritch was the real, like, big bad. So I think that Varang is the introduction that we need, and she's gonna become that villain for Lowak and Kiri. And I think there is.
You think she kills Natiri? I think so.
I don't think she kills Natiri. I think that she does something to hinder her, and she's the one who ends up killing Quaritch and Jake Sully. I think that's what's going to happen.
No, I'd be mad.
Here's the thing. She is insane.
She is. She's awesome.
Which is
she's
what I
awesome.
love. Like, the actor who played her, Oona Chaplin, I believe she's somebody said the granddaughter or something like that of Charlie Chaplin, killed it as Varang. But once again, she is insane. She has a power hunger that's nuts. Like that scene where she's getting all the ammo and stuff, that was very good. But like, you can clearly see she don't care about anybody but herself. She don't care about Quaritch. They just in it for like the thrill, or at least she is. She can become the big bad of the next 4 movies, or 2 movies. I hope it's 4. Personally, I love Avatar. But I can see it. I saw that scene where Kiri and her have that moment where Kiri calls her. I thought she called her a witch. I'm just gonna say witch. It sounded like she said witch. People were saying the B word. I don't think so. But there's gonna be a rivalry there, especially since now she knows, like, that first interaction between her and Kiri. She's like, "What are you talking about, Awa? What do you mean? Awa wasn't here for me."
Yeah,
Screw
I can
Awa.
see that. I think
so.
You're
Then
right, yeah.
Her seeing Kiri do that thing with her hair, going like, Awa does this. That's going to create a rivalry of itself. Natiri and her, yeah, that's going on, but it's really Kiri versus Varang.
But you don't think if she kills Natiri, that would definitely like strengthen their beef?
Yes, I just can see her as a villain that she just kills off everyone. She kills off.
I don't think she kills off Jake Sully.
She has to be the one to do it.
Why? The Colonel's the perfect person to do it.
Yes, but eventually you got to kill him off, and I think Varang is the person who could step up.
I think you kill both of them in one fight.
Oh no,
they both
you
die
gotta
together.
Keep one of them alive.
No, they both die together.
You have to.
Dude, Jake Sully's not sticking around, and the Colonel, the dude that plays him, is old. He's not sticking around either. You know, like he's like James Cameron. He doesn't want to do this for the rest of his life.
So that's why I'm thinking you have.
If she kills the Colonel, I'd be mad. I want Jake Sully to get it. I want Jake Sully to get him.
Well, what if it's like a double-edged sword type thing? Like Jake Sully kills the Colonel, and then she comes out of nowhere, kills him. and then just takes over. You're thinking everything's
I would
all
have to
good.
see it play out.
I think there's a way, but I do think that for the next 2 movies after this, she needs to be the main villain, or at least add another villain with her. Because that's another one thing I kind of was annoyed about. Like the Mongwan clan, I wish there were more
bad people,
more generals, I guess, for her, because she could have been the lead. But I wanted to have like 3 or 4 other people where it's like she calls their name and they're like her 4 horsemen or something. I thought that would have been tough.
Cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a lot. I could go on for.
We could talk about Avatar for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I really could, bro. Like this, I love this movie. I appreciate it. Even though I did give it a lower rating than Avatar: The Way of Water, I still like this movie. It's just that I expect a little bit more, just a little.
How hopeful are you for the 4th one before we close?
I'm nervous a little bit.
Whoa.
I'm nervous because this did feel like, once again, that loop. Felt a little nervous about that, so I don't know if that formula is going to continue on. I kind of need more new elements. Yeah, shake it up a little bit, so I don't know. But once again, it's a movie that has incredible action scenes, incredible performances, like Material kills it. I love her, so I have hope, but at the same time, I'm nervous if it gets like repeated over and over again.